All right, so today I'm going to tell you about a new collaboration that we've started with Sam Gersman. This falls within the broad question of what will happen next, with an emphasis on decision-making behavior, and especially on the neural representations that support this sort of behavior. So when we think about decision-making, we think about typically two different mechanisms that compete to dominate behavior or to control behavior. One is the model-free system, which is habitual, and you can think about agents making just decisions based on prior experience. That has some advantages in the sense that it's something a computationally efficient algorithm. But on the other hand, there's this the model-based system in which we assume that an agent has a model of the world. And based on inferences that it can make about the reward structure, it can actually make a more informed decision. Now, neither of these two models is actually captures all the behaviors that we see in decision making. And Sam Gersman came up with this formulation, or at least I know through him. Maybe it's not him, but so the idea here is that the model-free system makes the decisions online when a subject is faced with making a decision, but that this particular model is trained both from experience that the animal encounters or the subject encounters in real life, but also through simulation of experience. And this is a very strong prediction that speaks to the work that we do in the Wilson Lab, and that is that there is a neural representation that can actually inform and tie together events that don't happen necessarily in real time together, so that the model-free system can actually now have a bigger repertoire of potential decisions to make. So again, the task that Sam did a few years ago, where he actually demonstrates that this interactive scheme can work and actually explains the behavior of subjects, is the following. So he trained subjects on this computer-based task in which they're presented with two options. They either choose to go right or left on the computer screen. Each of those decisions is associated with particular stimuli, say a change of screen color or some icon or something. So after a few sessions, then they start giving reward to either choose when they choose to go to state number 2 or state number 3. And each of those states is, again, associated with a particular amount of reward that you can see here. The next important part of the experiment is that on a separate session, they either start from state 2 or state 3. And each of those states, in turn, has a particular choice to make. The key observation here is that if they choose, if they start from 2, that was previously rewarded with 2 cents in this particular example, no matter what decision they make, they will get 1 or 2 cents. But if they start from state 3, which was previously rewarded only 1 cent, again, it doesn't matter what decision they make, they will gain a lot more reward, in this particular case, 10 or 25 cents. The question is, when they are sent back to be tested, again, on the initial decision that they were going to make, will they choose the low reward or the high reward option? And so the observation here is that subjects change their preference. Instead of choosing the highly rewarded option, they choose the lower rewarded option. And the only way that, or one potential and important mechanism that can account for this observation is the fact that even though things never happen overlapping in time, there's this replay mechanism that put them together, and now it informs the model-free system to make a decision towards the initially low rewarded option, perhaps thinking that down the road there's a high reward expectancy. And so here's where we come in, and briefly, we're going to use hippocampal replay as a potential mechanism to assess whether it actually expresses the particular combinations of events that never happen overlapping in time, to see if, in fact, that is consistent with the idea of simulations in training. So this is what the maze looks like. This is the rat version of that experiment that I just described to you. And the question is, what will happen? Will we see simulation that is consistent with this training? And I think I'll keep you updated.